Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. You think back, Charles, a year ago to Super Bowl 55, we were out in Tampa, and this Chiefs offense just never could get it going. Patrick Mahomes hobbled by that turf toe injury. The offensive line, they were down a few starters. It was just a team that, frankly, was not at full strength.
And to their credit, they didn't use that as an excuse, and I applaud them for that, because what our eyes showed us, what we saw in that game, they didn't play their best game, but Tampa Bay, the better team throughout, right from the word go, and they really got after Kansas City in that one.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelce. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Well, CD, you get these two teams together and you get them each at full strength, and you know you're going to see some passing. We expect to see the ball in the air a lot as this game goes on.
Yeah, they were number 1 and number 2 in the NFL in passing yards last season. Kansas City 1, Tampa Bay 2, which means both defenses hope they got their rest, because going against these offenses, throwing the ball around and spreading the field, you're going to do a lot of running trying to cover.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Devin White, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And this is reminiscent, Charles, of what we saw back in February. The Buccaneer pass rush creating problems for Mahomes.
And you think about how often he was on the run in that game. All the yards that he used up trying to get away from people. If he could have just gone downfield, he probably would have had 200 yards rushing in that game. They did sack him 3 times, forced him into 2 interceptions. The pressure was relentless. This is a really tough unit to move the ball against.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. To throw, it's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Tampa Bay coming out along with a man who needs no introduction, the great Tom Brady.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff on Father Time the way that he has.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Jones.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
All quarterbacks are better when they have clean pockets to throw from, but you give one to Tom Brady, he'll decimate a defense. A really nice job there by his offensive line, giving him the protection to survey the field and make a nice, accurate throw.
Brady now on first down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw, it's Brady. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
So now First and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 30-yard line. Throwing now is Brady. To Evans on the slant. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
That's not good enough, man.
Ali Marpet, the guard, caught there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Brady going to throw. And he finds Gronk. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. But Charles, you think about these two teams, and think about how long it's been since we've had the same two teams play in the Super Bowl back-to-back years. You have to go back to the Cowboys and Bills almost 30 years ago in the 90s. That's the only time that it's happened in the Super Bowl era. So I'm curious, what kind of chances do you see of us having a Kansas City-Tampa Bay Super Bowl in L.A. come February?
Well, you just pointed out how difficult it is for one team to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone the same two teams to play against each other. So the odds are against them, but when we tell either one of these teams they can't get back there, we think they're 2 of the best in the league. It shouldn't surprise us if it happens, but it is going against historical precedent. But remember last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they won the Super Bowl in their own stadium. The only time that's happened in Super Bowl history, too.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. This Bucs defense, you remember, pretty stout last year, the number 6 overall unit in the NFL.
And I think that as the season wore on, and you pointed this out to me as well, you start to see some of their rookies begin to figure things out. And they played a little more like a top 2 or 3 defense down the stretch. And I would say that in the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, they were truly the best defense in the NFL.
It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flushed out right. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Mahomes now on the sneak. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll run. Here's Burton, the fullback. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mike Burton as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. Well, Charles, there's something that the Chiefs did not do at all in Super Bowl 55, and that's find the end zone, but they're in for 6 here.
Yeah, they could only come up with 3 field goals in that game. A huge surprise to just about everybody out there. But in this one, on the board early compared to the last time they played against this team.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The final shot before half for Brady. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. So we've reached halftime here, a score you don't see that often, 8-3. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time. And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go back to the ground with Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Chris Jones, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing second and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play,
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Brady got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. Thank goodness. That means this next drive is going to begin 1st and goal already at the 5-yard line. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Clyde Edwards-Helaire punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
and it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Brady's throw pulled in by Gronkowski. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
When this Bucs offense is humming, this is what they're good at. The short to intermediate passes. They get the ball out quickly in rhythm, and it's a tough offense to slow down when they're playing well.
Now Brady again. Open man is Jalen Darden. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Throwing again on second down. Brady looking middle. It's caught by Gronkowski. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. He's got Gronkowski yet again. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 2nd and inches, Brady completes it to Miller. On 1st down, Brady. Finding Miller once more, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady throwing left side. He's got Gronk, complete. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same.
Touchdown! That's caught. Tom Brady hooking up with Mike Evans there. And the Bucs are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Ryan Suckup on for the point after. He's got it. That makes our score now 22-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw it here. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. From the 24, Mahomes. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They'll give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.